My goodness, a dad, a married man, quite the summer for you. How'd it go?
It was great. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning experiences. But being a father is what everyone says it is. It's incredible.
I'm gonna say this because I went through it years ago too. It changes you a little bit. Do you feel different, just as a person? Forget an athlete. Do you feel different?
Yeah, I feel like you have more responsibility. Every day you come home, at least from work, from this job, it's great to see him, and it helps relieve some stress for sure.
Look at you smiling. You're loving this. Mm-hmm. You're loving this. I love it. The first 10 years of your career were much different than the last 4 years have been in terms of the team and possibilities and how things went. How do you keep going individually on the right track through some of these tough seasons?
I think the experiences of playing meaningful hockey, playing in the playoffs, is what drives every hockey player, and certainly drives me. I want to get back to playing those games and playing in the playoffs, and I believe that this organization is heading in the right direction. I think we've added some pieces this year that are going to help us, and I'm looking forward to getting the year started.
If I say, well, what's the team goal this year? I know you're going to say playoffs, right. Every team, Stanley Cup, all that stuff.
Yep.
But what are some tangible things? Like, where do you start this season? Where do you look at things you can attain as a team or as a group and go from there? What are the initial things that need to happen?
I think right now our focus is on the start of the season. I think last year we had a difficult start to the year. Our record wasn't great. We had a tough schedule to start the season going over to Europe. I know it sounds like excuses, but it was difficult for us. With a new coaching staff, we had a short training camp. So I think this year we're really focused on having a good start, getting out of the gates, playing good hockey, having a good camp. So there's a lot of excitement in the building. It feels fresh, and guys are ready to go.
I'm not sure if you know about this, but Jason Demers is going to try his hand as a TV analyst.
Okay.
Should he be really trying his hand as a TV analyst?
He's a great talker, so I think that's one of his strengths. I don't know if the face is great for television, but no, I'm joking. He's great.
Next to me, he'll look fine.
Yeah, he'll be great at what he does. He's a great person, and he had a great hockey career, so he'll be good at it.
Last but not least, you're a baseball guy. Do you want to see the A's leave Oakland?
I do not. No, the A's are my second team. You know that. I watch as many A's games as I can. Jays first, obviously, but I hope they stay.
It's been a rough summer. I'm putting together the pieces here, and even in a trade situation, Jumbo was in Florida. You were in Florida. Did Joe Thornton have anything to do with maybe bridging your arrival here?
I think so. He had a little bit to do with it. We all know Jumbo. But yeah, he was one of the first guys I called right after the trade, and he was obviously in contact with Greerzy. And when the trade happened, honestly, I was a little bit surprised, but at the same time, I was very excited. Just going to the organization where I know, Jumbo. He's a big part of it, and he's still around the boys, which is great. And just see him in at the rink, and I know how he was as a teammate, and I'm sure he's going to do well for whatever he's got going on next.
You were in the playoffs each of the last couple of years, obviously even getting a cup final in there, and that was a weird last season for you, I know, with the Achilles injury and everything, but obviously coming to San Jose, some different external expectations for this team based on where you have been. What's your mentality in trying to stay on track, do all the right things, and how to help this group maybe in a different way than you did in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, the goal stays the same. Obviously, it's here to win a Stanley Cup. I think that should be the mentality for everybody going into the season. But, you got to be realistic as well. But, for myself, I just want to continue to grow as a person, as a player. And, here to work for sure. And, entering my 10th year, I think, I'm coming into kind of a veteran leadership role. And, whatever I can do to help, the younger guys. I know we've got a lot of young, good skill, forwards and D-men in this organization. Whatever I can do to help to, make them grow. I'm able to do that, and kind of share my experiences and stuff like that.
Handful of years, more than a handful of years, I know you just said in the league, but I was just looking at your last three and some really productive years. And if you're just going on points, which okay, let's do that, like 0.72 points per game. pretty consistent over 3 years. What, outside of the injury, what are the things that have gone well for you in the last couple of years?
Yeah, but playing with great players. Obviously, I always credit my line mates. I was able to play one of the best players in the world in Barkov and guys like Huberdeau and Verhaeghe, guys like that, who just pushed me to be better. And obviously getting some chemistry with those guys have obviously helped a lot. But like I said, just continue to grow as a player, continue to grow as a 200-foot player. I think was the biggest key, biggest adjustment to my success.
Promise I'm not stalking you, but do a little research on who is Duke here joining this team. Great reputation. Everybody's got great things to say, but I did notice you do a lot of outreach for youth, for minorities. You're here in another, let's call it, non-traditional hockey market. What are the types of things maybe we can come to expect from you here, just flat out off the ice?
Yeah, I mean, I love spending my time with kids. I run 2 hockey camps last year, one in Florida, one back home in Montreal, and it was great just to share my experiences and just feel like where I am right now in my career, just having these kids look up to me. I think it's like my duty and my job to go out there and just reach out and do whatever I can to help them get to the next step. And had great experiences in both camps, and looking forward to bringing my foundation and my work down here in San Jose. And spoke to the community outreach people here in the organization, and they're excited too. So looking forward to doing some visits, whether it's at school, hospitals, things like that, and even maybe run a hockey camp down here at some point.
It's a different season. There's some new storylines. Your team is obviously subtracting the 100-plus points from Erik Karlsson that it benefited from last season. What does it mean for this year's team to not have EK around?
It means that, we got to step up in other areas. I think it puts a greater emphasis on us really establishing our identity. I said this earlier, that I think that's going to be really important for us, is to let every team know early on, the type of game that we play, and that we're not going to be an easy team to play against. Any team is going to miss Erik Karlsson being a part of their squad. He's a top defenseman in the league, and obviously he has that great capability to produce offense and play good defense. So I think it's just about coming together and really establishing who we are as a team. And as long as we do that, I think we're going to be successful this year.
You blocked a ton of shots last year. You laid a ton of hits last season for this team. Are those situations you're actively seeking out, or do those situations find you? And what's your strategy behind those two elements of the game?
I think those are situations that kind of find me.
You stepped in front of a lot of shots. Come on.
I do, but I think it's more the way I play. I like to be aggressive. I like to be in your face kind of style. I like the buzz, right? So in terms of the hitting, I just find myself in a battle and wanting to be physical and blocking shots. I guess you could say that in that way, yes. On the penalty kill, especially. Yeah. I try and get in front of the shot. Try not to give them a chance for rebounds and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's just in the type of style of game that I have. I'm just more of an aggressive player, and those are things that I want to build on, continue to get better at. I want to pass the number of hits I had last year. I think I can have more. I think I can be even more physical and tougher to play against. I think I can do a better job at even blocking shots and learning how to get into the lanes better and stuff like that. So sometimes even being in a good defensive position early on, gives me a better chance to do that too. So those things that I want to build on.
You mentioned the PK. I mean, despite the team struggles, it was like top 3 for a bit, top 5 in the NHL. I think it slipped at the end to be, but still top 10 in the league. We can see on the outside what we think makes it a good penalty kill. What internally do you see works on your team's PK, and how it helps your team last year? Yeah,
I think last year we had a lot of guys that fit that PK role, that were aggressors, that wanted to sacrifice and get in front of shots. So I think that worked really well for us last year, and I think heading into the season we have that same mindset, that those same type of players that are willing to do those things. And I think a lot of credit goes out to Warsofsky, our penalty kill coach. I think he did a really good job at giving us good video clips. I think that's really important, is knowing what the opponents are going to do before you get out there. So he did a really good job at that and gave us good structure and system so that we can kind of build within that foundation that he's given us. And but at the end of the day, I think we have a lot of guys, like I said, that fit that role, and that's actually a good mindset for us to have, like even 5-on-5, which is why I think it's a good way for us to build some momentum.
What do I have to do to make sure that you stay on YouTube this hockey season? And as part of that, what do I have to do to collaborate with you? I'm trying to get on Youngest to Plugs.
Yeah, let's do it. Like, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can do exactly what you're doing right now. I'm down. I'm in a groove right now. I feel pretty good about it. So just keep reminding, just keep harping on me.
I understand why the season takes precedent and the season takes its toll, and then you kind of fade away from it. Yeah. How can we keep you going strong on the platform? I need the channel to keep moving here.
I think that's something you guys have to figure out.
Help you out? Okay.
Yeah. Right. Just get in my head. Just get in my grill a little bit.
I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to text you. We're going to make this
happen.
They
deserve it.
All right.
Just keep me in line on the ice first.
Okay, all right.
So keep me in line on the ice first. As long as I got that going strong, then I can kick the YouTube off.
You take care of the stats. I'll take care of your metrics.
There you go.
Not that I'm stalking you all summer long, but from everything I've seen, you put a lot of effort into working out, physical training this summer. What was behind that, and what do you think the result of that is?
Yeah. I was, I never skip workouts. I was always, but you always kind of try to switch it up. New trends. The hockey. This is my 11th year, so it's from first year really changed. It's got faster, and when the fastest guy on the ice, you still try to help yourself. And I think I lost some pounds, so I lost it a little bit, and and with my strength coach, we always try a couple of new things, and hopefully it will help me, be a better player.
I was going to say, I mean, even from physical appearance, and I'd never thought of you any differently, but you do look like you've trimmed down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but sometimes we'll see during the year. It's tough to get because everybody has a different body. Some guys can eat whatever and they stay same. For me, it's like you have to be really focusing, and with the season, so many games, and you start eating late, sometimes get harder. But over the summer, I come a little leaner than a couple of years, back.
Welcome to getting older, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, last year, rough season overall, we understand that, but especially at home, 8 Sharks home wins at the Tank. And you remember the days of when that building was packed and the environment. As much as you want to win every game, isn't winning at home this season and moving forward especially important?
It is. It's nothing better than being and you can lift the sticks after a game, and thanks to your fans, and just be happy. Nothing is better than the Sharks, and it's tough when every time you just head down and you go straight to the locker room because you lost home game, and everybody. I remember the times when everybody was scared playing the Sharks Tank, and nobody wants play first pair because always the Sharks dominate the game, and for sure you want to change it. You want to be again, and especially win the home games because you want to win for your fans.
You've got a lot of young teammates, and at one point you were the young teammate. I remember those days. Guys like Eklund and Bordelot and so on and so on. But now that you are one of the more veteran players on the team, what do you see those young players needing, and how can you help those young players?
Yeah, I always try and learn from the best, and I think I have. I have Jumbo, I have Pade, I have Paf, so many great players and Hall of Famer, and it's, for sure when I learn, like tell them what to do, but same times I think you have to show them, how you play, just how you work on the ice, off the ice, how you act, and I think that's how you show them the way. It doesn't have to be always, you're telling things, but sometimes you have to just show them and show the way, and we got a lot of opportunity for young guys because, wasn't greatest last couple of years, and there's a lot of holes, and it's great opportunity for the young guys to step up and be the players, and you wanna help them out if they play with you. You wanna be there for them, and just try and be confident, because I think in hockey, if you're confident in anything, because you know why you're here, what you can do, and after that, it's just be confident about your game and show it. And I see a lot of potential in our team.